Hi everybody, it's Precious Pioneer and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, welcome. I have new videos every Thursday, but this video is for anyone who's feeling lonely or is in a period of isolation. We just had the longest period of solo time and quarantine, and that can be tough on your spirit, it can be tough on your mind, and so I want to encourage you because I hope that in this moment of isolation, of loneliness, that you're fruitful, that you're paying attention to the things that really inspire you, because it's not every day where you'll have this moment of being alone, to have this solo time. And so I want to help you, guide you around this period of being alone, because I think that there is kind of like a negative connotation about being alone, but honestly I think it's probably one of the most beautiful aspects of life, the thriving, the moment of isolation, because only then can you really work and develop on yourself. Only then can you face your internal feelings and whatever it is that you need to sort out in your heart and your mind to become a better person. I think that self-care happens alone. It's not really a group activity like in spas and getting your nails done like it's portrayed in the movies. It's really a little bit gritty, a little bit self-reflective, and sometimes it can be hard, difficult, challenging. And when you're finally around your friends and you're out of quarantine and you're married or you're dating or whatever it may be, you are a grown, developed person, and you wouldn't have been to the final stages of this unless you went through a period of isolation and alone time. But if you're struggling with your thoughts, or you're a little bit sad, you feel, oh, I'm alone, I have FOMO, or whatever sad or weird, strange feelings that you may have around being alone, I'm here to help you. Going into number one, some of y'all just are trying and you just are still alone. Some of you want to go out, meet friends, recognize some faces, but it's hard to do that. Well, the biggest thing is that routine attracts other people. Like your day-to-day roots and showing up consistently somewhere naturally connects friends. Think of like the most common things like work, school. These are the main two that I can think of, but usually you're naturally friends with those people around you just because you show up every day for long periods of time. That just happens. So imagine things that you actually care about. You'll naturally meet people that have the same interests as you in that sort of environment. I really like dance. If I show up to dance classes every Tuesday or whatever, naturally I'm going to be friends with the people in that class because we have a similar connection. So whether that be church or the gym, like for example, I go to the gym every single day at the same time, and I know there's a guy that I will see and I wave now because I don't know him, but I expect him to be there and he expects me to be there, and we do this like head nod thing. And that's what I'm talking about. This is how you build connections with people even though you may not even know them. Like there's the glasses guy with the muscles, there's like a lady that always comes in with a neon like bright Gymshark gear or whatever with a long ponytail, like in the morning. Every day I see these two people, and then the staff that works there. You know, this is how you develop relationships with people, by showing up consistently and developing a routine. Like I know every person's name at every cashier at the grocery stores I go to. Like there's Raquel who works in the evenings, and then there's Monica who works in the mornings. There's Savannah who works at the pastry shop. So I think that building character and meeting people and getting out of your bubble of loneliness by just talking with the people in your day-to-day activities can really help you, because I think oftentimes we have our headphones in when we're grocery shopping, we're just not paying attention. But I encourage you to pay attention to the people around you. Look at their name tag, say, oh, thank you. When they hand you your bag of groceries, look at their name tag, say thank you so and so, and help them be seen, and then you'll be seen, you know? So this kind of forces you out of your loneliness because you are forced to be reckoned with. So now, like whether you're on the metro, the bus, whatever, like pay attention to the people that are in your lives that you see regularly, you know? Something like this. Number two, the beauty of being alone. Go on solo dates. I know that we're on this trending period of like romanticizing your life, but honestly, solo dates are probably my favorite way to treat myself, because first off, you're never running late. I feel like on a real date, like the guy or girl or whoever is always like, okay, like we're running late, we need to get going. And I'm like throwing on makeup and fixing my hair, and like, no, you're on your own time. You get to pick the places that you want to go. If you want to take a detour and stroll and grab a donut before your dinner reservation, heck, it's on you. You order what you want, you take your sweet time. One of my favorite things that I used to do in college to like encourage solo dates was I used to go to like these really cool bars that good coffees or teas or something, and I'd bring my book and then I would just read there for hours and just treat myself to a really nice pastry and like some fancy coffee that was probably too expensive, but it was just like a nice thing to feed into yourself. Sometimes you need that isolation time to do something that brings you unimaginable joy and enjoy a really nice plate of food or coffee or whatever that is for you. Some people, for me, it's ice cream most of the time. But whatever that is for you, like going out to a steakhouse or whatever and enjoying that moment by yourself, just like looking around, watching the sports, whatever you like to do. These are like really beautiful moments like that you can spend and feed into yourself. Going hiking, exploring the city, you know, these kind of moments, it's fantastic to just treat yourself and take yourself on a solo date. Spoil yourself. Not every day, you know, if you're financially fit, like, but do things that really feed into you, you know. Okay, number 3, there's a misconception. There is a difference between loneliness and isolation. Loneliness is a feeling. Usually it's a reflective moment of a period in your life of like, oh wow, like I'm alone and I feel loneliness because of this, and this. But I think some of the biggest things in life is based on your perspective, and you can be like, actually no, right now I am a young adult, I'm in a period of isolation. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, I'm being productive, I'm going to school, I'm studying, I'm going to work. Sometimes I'm busy and I'm alone, and that's okay. How can I use this time to fulfill whatever this loneliness feeling is so that I feel fulfilled in my life? You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be like a bunch of people all the time because they equally take out your energy, or maybe you don't even have time to go out and celebrate and do all these other things, you know? Sometimes you just need that moment and period of isolation so you could focus on yourself. You know, what is it that you have always been wanting to do and how can you utilize that to be a little bit more productive? I think the most beautiful things, the season of like growth of a seed being put in the soil is the same process as it takes for it to bloom and flower. You know, there's a period of a cocoon in darkness before a flower blooms, and like when you put your seed in the soil or whatever, then it's like darkness and then you like sprout and grow. That was really metaphorical, but that's how I see it, you know, like sometimes to like grow within yourself, like there's that period of soil darkness and then you sprout and then you grow, you know. And not everybody will see, nobody sees the turmoil and the struggle or whatever it took for that seed to burst open, to have its little sprout and grow, you know. And you need to water it and take care of it and all these other things, still with this long metaphor, but that's really what it looks like to me. So like when you're in a period of isolation, like sometimes me and my friends don't talk for like a month or two and then we catch up for a long time, but I understand that they're on their independent journey. I am too, and you may be as well. And so I encourage you to like see a different perspective. You're not necessarily lonely, maybe you are, but you are also in a period of isolation, you know, and that's okay. Everybody goes through that, and treasure it because it's not a phase or a season that you'll be in for your entire life. Because if you do have a family or whatever it may be in the future, like you're not alone anymore, and you'll wish and reflect on these moments where you really did have a moment of peace, the freedom to do what you want whenever you wanted without answering to anybody. And I think that's the beauty of it. You answer to yourself and you accomplish things alone or whatever maybe. So I encourage you to look at this season as a blessing. Going into number 4, the best way to meet people that I have found is to volunteer. And that sounds so cheesy, but literally it is, because like you just meet a bunch of random people who care about the exact same cause or whatever it is that you do, and then naturally you just meet a group of people that you like, you know, like you're encouraged by them and they're encouraged by you equally. It's just really nice. Like I really care about like sustainability and like, you know, food waste, climate change, protecting the oceans, all this like really save the earth sort of like stuff. So here in Barcelona, I'm like, you know what? I need to meet more friends because I found that I had the same routine of like people that I knew from school or for work. And I'm like, you know what? I need some like outside friends. So I'm like, you know what? Let me volunteer. And so I found this place. I go to the beach every Saturday and I volunteer with these random group of foreigners who also want to be there. And it's really cool. I meet people from Belgium or from Argentina, just from different countries. And we have this like, hi, nice to meet you. And then we clean the beach together and it feels really nice, you know? I think think the biggest thing is this in this season is just to be seen. You don't necessarily want to be besties with everybody that you meet, but it's just nice for people that you don't know to kind of expect you, or for you to expect them, you know. It's just, that's what life is about, to connect with other people, and that's okay. You don't have to always be like this, but it's like, oh yeah, I know that guy, like, kind of, you know, like, he's really nice, he cleans the beach with me, you know. It's just as simple as that, and that's really enjoyable as well, you know. Like, it can be a book club at your favorite coffee shop, you know, and you know the barista. It can be as simple as this, but one of my favorite ways to meet new people is volunteering, so yeah, give it a try. Number 5, for those who are feeling alone or lonely, is sometimes that it's all in your head. Sometimes it's all in your head, like, ooh, FOMO, I need to go out and do these things, oh, I'm so alone, whatever, and you need to get out of your head. And so I recommend reading. I'm such a geek for books. Like, I'm here, I don't know, I live abroad and I have so many books, and sometimes I think about, and all my friends tell me, how are you going to bring your books back home? And I could not tell you, but I tell you this because sometimes reading and reading fiction books or reading something that's really exciting kind of gets you out of your own head to explore another story or learn something about yourself through another perspective, through storytelling. It's very different from watching Netflix, and so I encourage you, when I say read, I mean read a book, you know, because it allows you the space to take the pauses that you need to reflect on the story and to learn something. Netflix is very, it's like sugar. It's like, it gives you a lot of information very fast. You have a reflective moment and then you move on to like the next episode or season. It doesn't give you that lulling period. You go at the pace of the show, and I think that reading lets you set the pace for the story, like the other way around. And I think that's the key factor it is to grow and develop. You can't really grow and develop by watching TV because it goes too fast for you to process everything to be able to like enjoy like the storytelling. You know, I think we're very fast with it now, and so when I say read, I mean read a really good book, you know. One of my favorite books when I was like, I'm still in a period of isolation, but like last year when I was in quarantine, I like became super into books, you know. I can recommend Eat, Pray, Love. That was super good. I thought that was like, the movie's really awful, but if you like Julia Roberts, you know, you'll like it generally, but the book is like really interesting. I don't know, I've never read a book like that. That was really cool. Who else? What else? Oh, The Book of Pi is incredible. That one will like blow your mind. I can have another a video talking about books with that book, Book of Pi. That is some of the best storytelling I have ever read. And I've read a lot of books, but it was like too deep. It was just, like after I finished reading that book, I sat there for 20 minutes like reflecting on what the heck I just read, because it was just, there were so many layers. I love a good, what is it called? Like a loop around. Like there's a foreshadowing in the beginning, and then you're reading and you're diving deep into the book, and then you forget about this little hints of foreshadowing, and then at the end they're like, oh yeah, it like wraps it up at the end, and I'm like, it was just so good. So those are the 2 books I can recommend for you right now. I have so many more, but those are the main ones that I can give you. Yeah, so read a book. Getting out of your mind can really help you be excited, to laugh, to adventure along with somebody from the inside. I think that's really nice. Number 6 is to explore without intention. I am very much the person who's like, go, go, go. If I'm gonna leave the house, I have a destination and I'm gonna try to get there as fast as I can, you know, and have a plan and everything. But some of the best things that I really love when I first got here to a new city is to get lost intentionally. Like I would just get off on a random metro stop, on a random bus ride, and just walk around for hours, like not caring. I'm like, make a right or left? Left seems okay. And I just keep walking. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that this was here, and oh, I didn't know this was here. And it's just like this beautiful sense of wonder, you know. Like, we like to think that we know a lot, but man, getting lost will tell you you know nothing. You think you know you're going, and then once you get lost, try to find your way back. I think that's really interesting. I'm pretty observant, so I like to test my mind and see like, oh, do I remember this sign? This guy was here. Like, I really try to like figure it out, and it takes practice, because I want to say I'm actually pretty good at it now, but honestly, it is so humbling. It's beautiful to kind of just find yourself in a location you know nothing about. Be safe, of course. Be safe. Obviously, maybe don't go at like 2 a.m. at night, you know, but you know, go in the day, just explore and like get lost, and then the sense of wonder and discovery is really beautiful when you're alone, you know. Like if you have somebody along, I feel like it's kind of like, okay, where are we going? You know, we need to be somewhere, or there's no rush, you know, you're on your own. It really prioritizes recognizes that you're on your own time. This is what you want to do. It is strictly for you and your own curiosity and your sense of wonderment. You don't have to please anybody. And these are like the little moments and details of like thriving in isolation, you know? Like, you don't answer to anybody, so you can go where you want to go, you know? And it's beautiful. Okay, going into number 7, I would say exercise. I mean, it's no secret that like the magic of exercising boosts your endorphins, and then endorphins make you feel good in your brain, and when you feel good, you're happier, and when you're happier, you're more productive, and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's this beautiful domino effect of like, woo! I guess I can describe it like this. But yeah, I would encourage that. Like, I found that during this time, like, I really like to give moments to myself, and I don't know, when I dedicate those moments in the morning, like as soon as I wake up, I go to the gym and I like walk or run or I lift or whatever. It's like this beautiful like thing that I dedicate an hour just for myself. And so when I look at the mirror at the end, I'm like, wow, like dying a little bit. I'm like, you did good. Like, I push myself, and I think it's encouraging because you kind of hit these limits that you didn't think that you could or were ever capable of. Like, I hate running, and so every time that I finish a running workout or a cardio workout or a HIIT workout where my heart is like, bro, you're really trying to kill yourself, but like in the best way, you know, your blood's like you know, and I'm like, wow, you know, like I did not think I was gonna get through this workout, but like I did it, you know. So sometimes it's really encouraging to see how strong your body is, how much you are capable of, even though your brain is screaming for you to stop, you know. It's really amazing to see the adversities that you can face, and then at the end of it, you're like, you know what, that wasn't so bad, let's do it tomorrow, you know. And it really helps boost your energy for the day. So I encourage that for you. And that could be going on a walk as well. It doesn't have to be running, it could be dancing. There are so many ways of exercise, but that's one of my biggest tips to take with you. Okay, last but certainly not least, number 8, to keep a journal. It doesn't have to be all that. You don't have to like write essays of things, but sometimes it's nice to remember what you're thinking, because I think how I said loneliness is an emotion. Sometimes writing out some of your darker thoughts or thoughts that like are really making you anxious or making you sad or whatever it is that's like bothering you deep down, like sometimes writing it out and then saying it out loud, it takes the power away from your thoughts, because you are so much more than your thoughts, you know. And so sometimes writing them down and saying them out loud, you're actually like, I actually don't feel this way, or you're more reflective about it, and then acknowledging it that they exist sparks movement for change. And you're like, you know what, maybe I don't want to feel this way. Why do I feel this way? Maybe I need to do this to resolve this issue. It causes attention to it. But on the opposite side, like writing down, noting positive things that you've done today, or feelings that you feel, can spark joy for future things, you know. Like, you know, today I went on a walk and I explored something new. I've never done that before. Wow, like that was really cool. Like, I'm really grateful for this moment. And you can write like August, whatever, you know. And I don't know, I think these are some of the memories that you'll want to keep, because you'll forget, you know, sometimes. And so keeping a journal, a couple of sentences, just reflecting on like things that make you happy, sad, positive moments, adventures that you had. It can be whatever you want it to be. I encourage journaling always. I have a journal video up here. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I hope that you feel empowered in your alone time, your period, your season of isolation, because it's honestly a wonderful thing. Don't let anybody fool you or think otherwise, because it really is amazing to be alone sometimes. But yeah, I hope this encouraged you, and I will see you next week. Bye!